Hello, I'm Dr. Paul Riley, an associate of the Cruise Lecturers Association. My background is in chemistry and geology, and after some 8 years at university, I joined the multinational company Unilever. Here, I worked in research, product development, and the raw material supply chain, and travelled extensively around the world. Having now retired, I work as a consultant in the general areas of cosmetics. Today, however, I would like to introduce my portfolio of talks on astronomy. How did I become interested in astronomy? Well, in chemistry, one learns how the elements were produced in the Big Bang and in the death of stars. In geology, one learns about the origins of the Earth, the Moon, and the other planets. This naturally led to a deep interest in astronomy. I have put together a series of 5 talks on astronomy, which can be modified, shortened, lengthened to meet specific needs. These talks cover the evolution of the universe and our solar system, how it formed, when it formed, and what does the future hold. They are illustrated with superb images and video clips taken by NASA and other space exploration agencies. My first talk, Our Place in the Universe, discusses the location of planet Earth in the Milky Way galaxy and in the universe. We all remember E.T. and E.T. Phone Home, but what address would it give for planet Earth? I go on to talk about the solar system and particularly our sun, whose heat and light are produced by nuclear reactions, converting hydrogen to helium and releasing energy. We all remember Albert Einstein and E=mc squared. My second talk, The Big Bang, How Did It Begin? I cover the Big Bang, the theory of how the universe was formed. It was Fred Hoyle who coined the term on a radio programme in 1949. Way back in 1658, Bishop James Ussher determined from the Bible that the universe was created on Sunday, October the 23rd, 4004 BC. In 1927, the Belgian priest and astronomer Lemaitre proposed an expanding universe, having its origin at a point way back in time, the primeval atom. The expanding universe was later confirmed by the American astronomer Edwin Hubble. Today, the best estimate of the age of the universe is around 13.8 billion years. The Big Bang produced hydrogen and helium, the first 2 elements in the periodic table. We all remember the periodic table from the chemistry classroom. These gases eventually formed great clouds, the birthplace of stars, stellar nurseries. My third talk is titled The Life and Death of Stars. Have you ever wondered where the elements that are responsible for life, our planet, and indeed everything we can see, feel or touch were formed? Well, the answer is in the life and death of stars. As Johnny Mitchell's song Woodstock said, we are stardust, we are golden, we are billion-year-old carbon. Small stars like our sun will end their lives as red giants, expanding to an enormous size before blowing off their outer layers into space as planetary nebula. In so doing, they produce all the elements up to iron. Our sun has used up around half its fuel. In around 5 billion years, it will swell to a red giant engulfing the orbits of the inner planets. Look up at Orion and you will see a red giant, Betelgeuse, some 643 light years away. But ladies, we don't have any gold, silver or platinum yet. For these elements we need massive stars that end their lives as supernovas. Depending upon the size of the star, the remnants can be brown dwarfs, white dwarfs, neutron stars or black holes. My fourth talk, The Solar System, discusses the formation of the planets and the solar system. With the life and death of stars, the universe now has all the elements to make planets. The debris surrounding newly formed stars slowly coalesced to produce planets, but the early universe was a violent place. Our moon was formed when a small planet, Theia, collided with Earth. We then take a tour of the solar system, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and the gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. In 1990, Voyager 1 took the furthest image of Earth to date from a distance of 3.7 billion miles. Carl Sagan called this image the pale blue dot. My final talk, Keeping Us Safe, looks at how Earth was formed just the right distance from the Sun for life to revolve. not too hot, not too cold, with liquid water. Astronomers call this the Goldilocks zone. The Earth's magnetic field keeps us safe from harmful solar wind, and in so doing produces the beautiful northern and southern lights. NASA have wonderful images and video clips of the southern lights from the orbiting International Space Station. All planets having magnetic fields also produce auroras, Jupiter and Saturn. Finally, the enormous gravity of Jupiter deflects comets, meteorites and asteroids that could devastate the Earth. Our planet was now set for the greatest show on Earth, the evolution of life. As Carl Sagan said, it all happened on a mott of dust suspended in a sunbeam. I would also like to introduce my portfolio of other talks. These include the history of tea, put kettle on and let's have a nice cup of tea, the history of cosmetics, and I never knew that, a nostalgic look at some of the more famous brands of everyday products. The history of tea covers the origins of tea in China, its later cultivation in India, and the arrival of tea in Great Britain. Specifically, I cover the Opium Wars, the tea clipper ships, the Boston Tea Party, Catherine of Braganza, wife of Charles II, credited for bringing tea to England, the introduction of afternoon tea, credited to the 7th Duchess of Bedford, and the rise of Lions and ABC tea shops, and then the history of some of the more famous tea brands such as Brooke Bond and Lipton's. The history of perfumes begins with Makeup to Die For, charting the history of cosmetics from ancient Egypt through to today and the harmful ingredients many of them originally contained. It's followed by the history of perfumes, which charts their evolution and the origin of some of the more famous brands such as Chanel No. 5 and 4711. The final talk, BO and Bad Breath, What a Turn-Off, is a humorous look at the development of deodorants evaluated by trained armpit sniffers and all care products. The great French dentist Pierre Fauchard advocated one's own urine as a mouthwash, and also hear how a toothpaste saved a soldier's life. Finally, a nostalgic trip down memory lane in a series of 3 talks looking at the history of some famous but perhaps never thought about much everyday products. Sunlight soap, Lifebuoy soap, Pears soap and the Miss Pears competition. Clarence Birdseye, yes, he was an actual person who, after seeing the Inuits freezing fish, founded, yes, you've probably guessed, the Birdseye Company, best remembered for fish fingers, Captain Birdseye and frozen peas. Wall sausages did not sell well in the summer, so it was replaced by ice cream. Gibbs SR toothpaste was the first advert on UK TV, and Birdseye frozen peas the first colour advert on UK TV. Great for those trivia quizzes in the local pub and on board the ship. Many of these products were produced by William Hesketh Lever, the founder of what became Unilever. At Port Sunlight he built his factory and a model village for his workforce, a great place to visit for ships calling into Liverpool. Thank you on behalf of myself and the Cruise Lecturers Association, and I look forward to meeting some of you on cruises in the future.